In this series of videos, we are building a working prototype application based on a database, in this case using Oracle XE, and we're using Oracle Apex Application Express. If you want to work along with the examples, you should start with video 1, and you should go to this URL and download the scripts you need to build some tables and insert data so that you're ready to build the application. In this video, I want to show you an alternative to what I did in the 22A video. In that video, I pointed out some of the problems, a glitch inside of Apex that you can quickly fix, but also when you click to create something, when you have a master detail, then if you click create, you're taken to this fairly simple looking interface, and I wrote SQL to bring in student information so you could still see the student name. I'm going to show you an alternative to that which doesn't require using SQL, writing the SQL. So I'm going to go ahead and go back to the application in design view, and I'm going to create another master detail. So I'm going to click on form, and I'll do master detail. And then I want to pick the student table, and I'm not going to have everything show up. I do need the primary key, so I'll include that. I'll go ahead and keep user ID, student name, first name and last name, but I'm not going to bother with the team ID and the major. So this is not going to be a form for input. It'll simply display information, and I will click next. Then I will select the attendances, and I will want all of these fields because this will be what actually is used for data entry. Okay, and I'll just say on some of these I'm not really making many changes. Master table, existing trigger, and same for the detail table. Now, I will not use a master report, and I could if I wanted to, but I don't really need it for this because I'm going to limit the master display to a single student record. So some of this that we might have as a report display of detailed information or record information that you can then drill down to more detailed information in the master detail, I'm not going to include. So we're not going to have the master report, and I'm going to click next. And in this case, I do want to edit detail in a tabular form on the same page, something we couldn't do easily directly within a master with more than one detail section. And then I'll make some edits here. So I have changed the page number, and I've made it 48 so it will follow in the numbering sequence for the report and master detail that I currently have. I've changed the name of the page title and the region title for the this master detail. I'm not going to have a breadcrumb, and I'm going to go ahead and click next, and I will not have a tab for this. And then I'll go ahead and click create. Then I can run this page, and I'm seeing a blank master because there's nothing to tie it to a particular student. So the next thing I want to do is I want to come back to the application. I'll go ahead and launch the report, and then from there step into my master detail. So what I want to do is have this create button no longer call up page 47, but call up page 48, the master detail I just created. And so I'm going to edit this page. I'm going to go down to the create button, and this is the create button for that detail section. And then I'm going to change where it goes. It's going to call page 48, which I could look up if I wanted to. And then I want to set the value will be different in terms of what I want to set. So I need to go look at page 48. And I want to set it to the page 48 student ID value to the page 46 student ID, which is the master detail that we are calling that input form from. So I'm going to go ahead and apply changes, and I will run this page. So now I will jump to page 48. I'm seeing Barbara Kreie, and I'm seeing the workshop information. If we go back and cancel, notice that she already had some workshops that she had attended, and that was 1 and 3. So let me go ahead and click create and do some quick editing here for this. I'm going to step through, and for user ID, first name and last name, I'm actually going to make this display only, stepping through those fields. Then I will come down to the subform area, and for that, for workshop ID, I will want to add a list of values. So I'll switch that to a select list on a named list and select my workshops. Display value, null values, yes. Apply the changes and apply the changes. And then run this. And so now I see the information about the student, but it's not something I'm going to edit. If I want to edit, I would go back to the page that the master detail that called this. And actually right now when I click cancel, it takes me back to the main form. So I still need to do a little bit of cleanup here, in that I'll click this, I'll advance to my page 48, and I can change where this page goes when I click cancel or delete or apply changes. But I now have the ability, looking at Barbara Kreie and seeing that information, to add a row, seeing what she already has attended, and adding something to that. So I would simply need to come in here, edit this page, and step through and edit what happens or what page we go to if we click a particular button. So we don't want to go back to page 1. I would want to go back to to page 46 in this particular situation. So I won't do it for all the buttons, but I'll run this. So I'm seeing this, and if I wanted to cancel, it's going to take me now back to page 46, which is where I want to go. So the nice thing about this is there's no SQL written, plus I think this is actually a much more user-friendly interface. So I've created a master detail that basically replaces the single form created as I step through the original master detail wizard that takes us to student information about attendances and evaluator data. And I could do exactly the same thing, add a create button here, and do the same thing to create an evaluation.